So OpenAI just dropped computer use for Codex. If you're on a Mac, Codex can now control your entire computer. And by the way, Windows will be coming soon too. That's from the head of Codex at OpenAI. Now, it seems like every agentic coding tool has been claiming that it allows you to control your computer for at least the last year. So what's the difference with computer use? This is really the key. Codex with computer use can control apps you can't even see. And so the way that works in a Mac is that the screenshots are occurring with macOS's system API. So models like GPT-5.4 are multimodal, meaning they can understand images. And so by taking screenshots, GPT-5.4 via Codex is able to have the information with which to take actions. But since it's going through the system API, this works even when your application is minimized or hidden behind other windows. But then, importantly, the clicks and types are going directly to the target process. So it doesn't depend on the user interface being up and visible like other tools require, like OpenClaw. And so that's the real key. As this original post says, the agents can use your apps in the background, not in the foreground, blocking you from doing other work. Today, I'm going to show you how to set up computer use in Codex and go through 3 practical applications. 1, using Spotify. 2, trying to find a YouTube video in the browser. And 3, testing out a web application to see what computer use is capable of. All right, so here I've got the Codex Desktop application open. And the first thing you should do is update if you see the update button. And that'll make sure that you get to the most recent version so that computer use is available. I've already set up computer use, so I know that it's available on my version. Next, you'll want to go up here, click Codex, then go to Settings. And then over here, you should see now a little tab that says Computer Use. So you want to click on that. And then if you haven't installed this plugin yet, there's going to be an option to install it. You need to install it. And then it's going to take you through on your Mac through some permissions prompts to give Codex the ability to both control your computer and take screenshots. Here's a little video from Twitter, which shows what the flow is going to look like for you. All right, so now you've got computer use set up. Now let's go straight through and see how it works. So I'm going to come here and click try in chat. And so it's going to have this play a playlist to help me lock in. Let's say play a playlist to help me conquer the world. Now, GPT can be kind of woke. So if you've got Napoleonic tendencies like me, sometimes it will inhibit you from acting on them. Let's find out what it actually does. This is a little bit annoying. I set up work trees in this project, so it's going through a whole installation process. Let me just actually say work locally instead. Okay. Sorry, I cannot help you conquer the world. All right. So I haven't even specified what application to use. So it's going to look it up. It's going to get some energetic playing without making you babysit it. Looks like it found Spotify. Okay. And right now I've got it on GPT 5.4 extra high. All right. It started playing. And let me pause that because I don't want to get copyright banned. So hopefully the 3 or 4 seconds it just played for will not strike me. But hey, that's pretty cool. So I found this playlist and then started playing it right away. Let's try out something else instead. So the second thing I mentioned was that maybe it could help me find YouTube videos. So let's try that. So I'll go here, and in order to invoke computer use, if you don't start it from the plugin screen, you just put it in @ and then you go to computer use. So let's say, help me find some lectures on YouTube for CS 231N, the most recent ones you can find. So I'm kind of curious how it does with this. So for those of you who don't know, CS 231N is Stanford's course on computer vision. And so I'm interested in learning the fundamentals of deep learning at a better level than I know right now. And so I'm curious how it does. Okay. It seems to be using some other tools instead of computer use, which maybe makes sense because web search is something that Codex and Claude Code already had the ability to do. So maybe it doesn't need this. And as you can see, I have this tool YTDLP in here. So that's something important to know, that if you're using computer use to do non-computer use needed things, it may not work as you expect. Something I'm curious is, can it open up DaVinci Resolve and edit videos? Like, that would be crazy. I really doubt that can work, but let's find out. Can you open up DaVinci Resolve and open up my latest video to start editing? I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're just right here pushing the limits of computer use live, and let's see how far we can get. Okay, so it's opened up DaVinci Resolve apparently. That's mad. I like how it gets the icon here too. Wow, check that out. So if you open this up, you can kind of like see under the hood what it found. Bro, that is fucking crazy. What the fuck? So it's found my different videos here. Holy shit. Is it going to open it up? So it doesn't go as fast as a human would go. And DaVinci Resolve's an annoying example because it like takes over the screen. But look at that. Hands free. I swear. Not using my hands here. And so it's opening up my recent video now that I made on the Claude Code Desktop app. And so this really takes like things like video editing in a different direction, right? Because the direction people were thinking about going was creating all these agentic video editors, but maybe with computer use, Codex is already a agentic video editor. So that's mad. You can see that cursor moving around on the screen. Man, this is going to be fun. I'm excited. So the Spotify thing definitely worked. Hopefully I don't get copyright striked for that little video. I might actually have to cut out the music. DaVinci Resolve seems to be working. Wow. And then it's even switching to the edit screen. So if you're not familiar with DaVinci Resolve, there's an edit page, which is like where you do most of your editing. And it's even opening up the timeline. That's what it pressed key in DaVinci Resolve. And then you can like kind of see the image it got. And then it pressed another key. Bro, that is insane. So let's open up DaVinci Resolve now. Yeah. And it like opened this up. That is crazy. Okay. Now, something else I was curious about is whether you can use computer use as a replacement for other browser automation testing tools. So there's this thread on Reddit. The updated computer use is absolutely insane. And this guy says, I've been using Playwright CLI for my dev workflow. So Playwright is a browser automation testing tool. Like, it's something that you would use to test out if your application is working as you would expect it to. But what he's saying is that it feels like a complete upgrade over Playwright. I literally uninstalled Playwright immediately. And so let's try it out for some like browser automation testing tasks. So here I've got my main website, AI MBA. And so I'm going to start it up. Let's put it at medium reasoning effort because I don't want to take ages to do this. And let's just do it locally so that we don't have to wait for a new work tree to get created. So I'll go at computer use. And then I think I'll say, can you start up the development server and then use computer use to see if everything looks well designed on the website, or if there's any sort of asymmetries or kind of color schemes that you think don't look so hot that you would recommend changing. So let's see if it's able to follow that pretty high level instruction. Now, one of the nice things that I talked about in my recent video on the Claude Code app is that in the Claude Code Desktop app now, when you ask the tool to create the development server, it's like able to do that and show it to you right in the application. So Codex doesn't have that yet. I hope they get there soon. So here again, it's tending towards using Chrome MCP server. So I'm going to say, no, use computer use. So good. Now it's using computer use directly. So it says looked at Google Chrome, and here you can see that it sees Reddit. And now it says typed text into here. So you can see it actually typing the text, then pressed key in Google Chrome. So one of the things I'm noticing is that this goes pretty fast. Like it's going pretty fast. There. Now it's reached here, so it can see this. And now the question is like, is it going to be able to come back to me with some design suggestions? And the amazing thing here is that it's doing all this in the background while my window isn't actually open. So like my mind is blown, right? Because like if you look here, I got like a ton of shit that I'm working on all the time. And so one of the things people have been wondering is like, how do you not limit yourself by your screen space and your mental capacity, of course, but if it's able to do all this stuff in the background, that's a huge productivity advantage for anything that's front end facing, because it means that you can have like multiple projects working at once. And so now it's come back to me with a large set of suggestions, which is pretty cool. And I could basically take this, have it ideate on this, and basically work from there. So I'm pretty excited about this new tool. I'm going to be testing it out a lot more, but if you're on the Codex Desktop app, which I recommend as a default for most people new to agentic coding, I would definitely check it out. I'm going to be having a full course coming out on the Codex Desktop app pretty soon, probably within 1 week or so. And if you have any questions for me about Codex, Claude Code, making a choice between these or whatever, you should come in here to my community, the AI MBA, where we've got over 1,700 people now, all pushing to get to the frontier of agentic coding. And if you want to learn from me personally in weekly calls where I hold you accountable and give you the exact direction you need for whatever your goals are, whether professional, creating an AI consulting business, or doing some kind of academic research, you can join the AI MBA Pro. We've got a nice little group in here of very dedicated people, a nice network for you to join. And so I definitely recommend that to many of you. All right, guys, that's it for today. Peace.